If you waited to buy a home because you listened to him, you have already lost out on thousands of dollars. And I'm going to take him up on his request for help and going to quickly share with you why I believe he's wrong about a housing crash. Just so we're all on the same page, let's hear what he has to say.
And home flipper in America is crashing right now in early December, folks. Take a look at this. Massive declines in stock price. The CEO of Opendoor is liquidating his shares, and I believe that this is foreshadowing for what you're going to see in the US housing market fundamentally very, very shortly. That means that if you're a home buyer or a potential real estate investor, you need to be paying attention to what's going on with Opendoor because they buy and sell more homes in America than anyone else, and if they are crashing down, that's a sign for what you can expect in the US housing market. Now, interestingly, this is not the first warning sign that we've received. First, as I'm sure many of you are aware, was Zillow. About a month ago, had a massive decline in stock price and had to lay off 25% of their workforce. As I said on this channel a month ago, Zillow's problems were a warning sign for the rest of the housing market. And now that companies like Opendoor are also struggling massively, you can see that the contagion is spreading.
So his whole channel is designed to scare people and talking about a housing crash. And he's saying that because Zillow's iBuyer program failed, and because Opendoor stock is down significantly, that is foreshadowing of the housing market and its impending doom. Now, I told you I was going to make this quick, but I can't speak as fast as him, so forgive me. I don't know Nick or RE Ventures, and he's probably an amazing person, and this video is not an attack on him personally. I have nothing against him. I don't know him. But I do believe what he's sharing is misguided and will negatively and has negatively impacted thousands of people and families with the information he is providing. Now, who am I and why should you care? I'm Sir Ashley. I'm just another YouTuber who, like Nicholas, is from upstate New York. I've been a real estate investor since about 2010, and I'm a licensed real estate agent who, for the past handful of years, have helped both buyers and sellers every single day. So I'm in the trenches and I know exactly what's going on the ground when it comes to real estate. But before we move on, let's quickly hear why Nicholas and RE Ventures is ringing the alarm bell for a housing crash.
Zillow is down by 43% since late October. Opendoor is down by 41%. Redfin's down by 25%, all while the NASDAQ Composite Index, which is where these tech companies trade, is only down by 3% in the same span. So very clearly, there's something unique happening to these real estate tech stocks. They are getting pounded way more than other stocks in the technology space, and this suggests that there's problems with the future of the US housing and real estate market.
So you heard what Nicholas has to say. He said Zillow's down, Redfin is down, Opendoor is down, so that must mean something is wrong with the housing market. Well, as I said, for years I've been an investor, well before I was a real estate agent, and I competed against Opendoor and Zillow when it comes to buying homes quickly from sellers that wanted to sell quickly without any hassle. And I know exactly why Zillow's iBuyer program lost $500 million in the last 18 months. And I know why Opendoor stock is down 40% right now. And I'll share that with you in just a second. But first, let's hear some more about what Nicholas has to say on this subject.
I want to show you a couple more real estate stocks and how they're behaving, not necessarily in the real estate technology space, but in the home ownership and home building arena. So on this graph, we're taking a look at 3 stocks and how their stock prices changed over time. The green line is Opendoor once again, and we can see a 41% decline in Opendoor stock price. The orange line, however, is Invitation Homes. Invitation Homes is the largest homeowner and landlord in America. They own over 80,000 homes and rent them out as single-family rentals. Their stock is basically flat over the last month and has been flat for pretty much the last 6 months. And then we have the yellow line, which is D.R. Horton. D.R. Horton is the largest home builder in America. They sold over 65,000 homes last year. And we can actually see that D.R. Horton is up 15% over the last month. So we have this interesting divergence here, folks, where the home builder's up by 15%, the homeowner is flat, and then the real estate technology company is down by 41%. Now, this is extremely interesting, right? Because these are 3 housing market companies, 3 real estate companies that are all kind of telling a different story. Opendoor has crashed, Invitation Homes is flat, D.R. Horton is up. What does this mean about the future direction of the housing market? Let me know what you think about this interesting divergence of how these real estate companies are behaving on the stock market.
So as you saw, he just looked at 3 different companies in real estate. And he asked us, what do we think is going to happen with the real estate market? Yet, at the same time he's asking us, what do we think it means? He's telling everyone that there's going to be a real estate crash. You can't have it both ways. I believe he has no idea why these different housing/real estate stocks have such a large deviation between the three of them. Yet, based on Opendoor and Zillow stock, Nicholas wants us to believe that the housing market is going to crash. And in actuality, anyone can cherry pick data and data sets and individual companies and present a picture of doom and gloom, or they can do the opposite and present a picture of sunshine and rainbows. But it's imperative that we don't think emotionally and instead use our logic when looking at the housing market as a whole. And we'll see why real estate did not crash in 2021, which he has several videos predicting that, and why it will not crash in 2022. Before I share with you and Nicholas why there is such a deviation between these three real estate company stocks, which he used in the video, D.R. Horton, Invitation Homes, and Opendoor, let's first look at what the major players in the real estate market are predicting about the housing market in 2022. As you see, Zillow calls for an 11% growth in home values, and Fannie Mae predicts a 7.4% increase in home values. Redfin goes on to predict just a 3% growth in 2022, but Redfin also predicts an increase in mortgage rates, which I also agree with Redfin because the Federal Reserve has already indicated that interest rate hikes are foreseeable in order to combat inflation. So for all of you who have waited to buy a home because you were misinformed by Nicholas and channels like his, you will be waiting at least another year, or you'll be paying much more for that home because not only will prices continue to go up in 2022, but you're also going to pay more to finance the home because interest rates are going to increase. Now, let me help Nicholas out and share with him and you all why Zillow's iBuyer program failed and why Opendoor stock is plummeting. Yet at the same time, the largest landlord in the country is remaining steady and the largest home builder stock is increasing. And if I'm being blunt with you, it's fairly simple to understand this deviation in those three companies if you have been an active real estate professional for any length of time. Zillow's iBuyer program and Opendoor have had faulty business models. I'm in the market to buy and flip homes as an investor, and I know that I make money when I buy the home. I let the home seller know what I have to buy the home for because I'm basing the value of the home on its current market value. And I'm not hoping for future appreciation. And oftentimes, I've been outbid by Zillow and Opendoor because their home buying businesses were based on speculation. They were frequently overpaying for homes in hopes that the market would appreciate. And that model and speculation has gotten them in trouble once they factored in buying costs, holding costs, and selling costs. In fact, about 3 or 4 years ago, I sold one of my own flips to Opendoor and made about $15,000 because I knew that the numbers were shaky when I bought the home, but I also knew that Opendoor was foolish enough to overbid for the home. Invitation Homes, the largest landlord in the country, stock is flat because it should be. They're the country's largest landlord, and as a landlord, you really aren't concerned about appreciation or depreciation. You're concerned about cash flow. And if the debt on the home is costing you around $700 a month, yet you're renting that home out for $1,200 to $1,300 a month, you're good and your investors are good. So that explains the steadiness of their stock because so long as renters are paying, the stock will remain steady. And quick side note, even when the renters weren't paying, there were large bailouts for companies that offset financial losses. So that takes us to home builders, and specifically D.R. Horton. D.R. Horton and home builder stocks have increased because they are in the business of meeting a current demand. As we know, there is a huge lack of supply of homes in our country. So when the demand is up and supply is down, people who are providing the supply of homes will be profitable. So Nick, you asked for our help and what we thought.
What does this mean about the future direction of the housing market? Let me know what you think about this interesting divergence of how these real estate companies are behaving on the stock market.
So here it is. In short, Zillow and Opendoor's business model is flawed, and they were speculators in the real estate market. Landlords are doing just fine because owning property is a tool to insulate against inflation. And home builders are doing well because they are providing supply to the market. So to say that the housing market is going to crash because Zillow and Opendoor had a flawed business model is akin to saying no one watches movies anymore because Blockbuster failed. Or to say that business people don't use cell phones because BlackBerry failed. One has to look at the bigger picture and see what is going on. And if you or anybody else was on the ground every single day, helping buyers and sellers, as well as educating yourself on the market, this would have been perfectly clear to you, and you would stop calling for a nationwide real estate market crash because people have relied upon your content and they're now priced out of the market and won't be able to buy a home in the near future. To those of you who are still watching, talk to a local real estate expert in your area if you're looking to buy or sell. Yes, it is important to gather insight and data from a variety of sources and to get different perspectives, but use your own logic, not emotion, when deciding if now is the right time to buy or sell a home. I know there will be people out there that are going to say, I'm simply a real estate agent, so of course I want people to buy homes. And to you, I say, I regularly advise clients, both retail clients and investor clients, to pass up on homes and not to buy them, because if I believe it's not a good investment or not a good property in terms of price or just fit for them, I'm going to advise them not to do so. And I have several clients who can attest to that. Also, remember, I am a real estate investor. I consider myself more a real estate investor than a real estate agent. So if the housing market were to crash, yes, it may be awful for me to say this, but if the housing market were to crash, I would be happy about it and gladly share that information with you because I have the approach of an abundance mindset. There will be a lot of opportunities for everyone to go around. That is if I truly believed, based on the data, that the housing market was going to crash. But based on the data, I don't see the housing market crashing anytime soon. I'm Sir Ashley, just another YouTuber who happens to be a full-time real estate professional. And this is in no way an attack on Nicholas the person, but I strongly agree with his constant chatter about real estate crashes because the average person whose dream it is to buy their first home or their next home is relying on faulty information that he provides. I hope this was helpful. Talk soon.